Juno, come on, buddy. Killing me. Hey there, kids. Hi. Motherfucker. Fucking Juno. Anyway, hi guys. Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. You know, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So, fucking Juno. Yeah, look at this. He's like, oh, wrong chat. He's just like, hey kids. Tim in about 30 seconds. Yeah, well, you know, one of those deals. Anyway, you guys, welcome. It's Tuesday. See you next Tuesday. Good day so far. I don't know about y'all, but it's been a good day so far. Went to bed somewhat early last night. I think I've got my sleep schedule more regulated now. We'll see. Woke up today about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So, yeah, it was good early morning. Got out on the trail, did my walk, came back, showered up. Still sweating like a pig right now. So if you see me do, you know, this type of thing, that's why, even after my shower. But started a new audiobook today. It's the third and final book of this series that is called Empire of the Vampire. It's by author Jay Kristoff. And if you like dark, kind of gothic fantasy, you know, stories and things like that, about vampires and warfare and all that, man, you're gonna like it. It's so freaking good. It is like quintessential grimdark. It's a great book series. I am absolutely hooked on it. And you know, bittersweetly, I started the last of the books today. So the epic conclusion of all of this. But man, it is so freaking good. If you want a good read or even a good listen, because I listen to the audiobook, it's absolutely awesome. I highly recommend it. So, but yeah, man, started listening to that today. Got an early start. Refined the panel line pattern for the foot. I really like it. I'll show you that here in a few minutes. And then after the stream, man, I'm just gonna start pounding, redrawing the Fiverr insignia. So yeah, super good. Juno says, what's the name of the book again? The first one is called Empire of the Vampire, right? Let me show you. It's by Jay Kristoff. Like I said, I listen to the audiobooks, and yeah, so here, let me show you kind of, here, right quick. Let's go camera 2. So, yeah, I just started Empire of the Dawn. That's the third and final book. Jay Kristoff. It's fucking breathtaking. It's really freaking good. Yeah. So, whoo boy. If you liked the Witcher series, you're more than likely gonna love this series. It's like I said, it's a grimdark kind of fantasy about vampires essentially taking over the world. And it's like it's a gothic, kind of medieval time period. And yeah, it's fucking amazing. The main character, Gabriel de Leon, he's an asshole, but in all of the best ways. Man, it's really fucking good, you guys. So yeah, good day. We're gonna keep it going, hopefully. We're gonna carve this scribing pattern in here in a little bit, but first let's get caught up in the chat here and say hi to everybody. Looks like we got Julius checking in. What's going on, Jay? Mikey, Mr. Mike Dawson, in his new home. How's the home? How's the house treating you, Mikey? We got E Swank. What's up, Swanky? He says, good morning, everyone. We got our dear friend, Mr. Pete Almanacs over there. Greetings, model citizens. What's going on, Pete? Hope the back is doing well. Hopefully you're recovered from that, right? Mikey says, I've been having to pick up 12-hour shifts while still moving boxes and stuff from my old house. Fuck. Man, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Juno says, I look forward to the intro calling card thing. You know, it's just my intro. It's my thing, you know. Hey, kids. You know, I just gravitated toward that. I don't know. Anyway, we got Gio with us. Yesterday was Gio's birthday. If you didn't wish him a happy birthday yesterday, go ahead and drop him a happy belated birthday today. Yeah, the yesterday was Gio's birthday. So, but he says, good morning, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for your wishes yesterday. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys. Aww. Very sweet. That was very sweet. Let's see. Black Country Apex Nerd. He says, hey, all cast comes off tomorrow. Nice. Nice. I was going to ask you about the cast. He says, try Dire Blood. It's like Aragon, but with dire wolves instead of dragons. What? Huh. Interesting. That's interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. I have a huge backlog of audiobooks that I have to listen to. So many. So many. You know, because I want to start Red Rising. Heard nothing but amazing things about that. I want to start Dungeon Crawler Carl. Obviously, that's just blowing up right now. There's a few others that I'm really into. There was this one book series that I downloaded, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. It's basically this story about living ships, not like in a Cars way, but like these ships are, and they're like wooden ships, but they're alive. They have sentience, right? And it just sounds freaking cool. So I downloaded that. I'll start that at some point too. But like, I have a huge backlog of audiobooks that, you know, I just run through. Like when I'm on my walk on the trail, listen to an audiobook. When I'm redrawing these insignia, listen to an audiobook. And I just churn through them. Let's see. Gio says, I posted a question on the community. Did you now? Let's take a look and see what that question may be. Let's see. Opening YouTube. Going to my channel. Going to the community. And the community opens. Excellent. Okie dokie. So, all right, let's go screen capture. And here's Gio's question. He says, oh, and I guess that's a...
We have a question.
Yeah, I guess he gets one of those too. He says, hello, everyone. I have a question. Thank you in advance for your responses. Wow, so formal. The main body hasn't been painted, but those clear red parts... they supposed to be glued in those four holes. Should I glue them and mask, or is there a way to glue them after painting? And I can't obviously expand or make this any bigger. Geo Art. Let me see. Here we go. All right, that's a little bit better. Geo, do these little clear pieces have pegs on the back that slot in there? It kind of looks like they do, but I can't tell from the photo. Let us know. Let us know. Because I'm thinking if they have pegs on the back, you can save them to the very end, after the model's painted and everything. And you can just glue them in. Little dab of super glue. Nothing crazy, because just circular clear parts. Yeah, I mean, you could still probably get away with it. I know they make like clear glue for like plane canopies and stuff like that. You may want to look into those. But yeah, I would glue them on at the very end, because that's horse shit trying to mask them and everything. Treat them like they're metal details, that you don't want to paint, and just save it to the end. That's what I would do. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But all right, let's see here. Pete says, still looking for Tim's future book, Mild I Betcha by Child of Mecha? Pete, I don't get it, man. I'm sorry. The context is lost. I'm so sorry. Let's see. We got Todd, Mr. Mad Havoc. What's going on, Todd? Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, Gio, like I said, I think you should be able to just glue those in at the very end of the build, after that armor is painted and all that good stuff. Yeah, you should be good. You should be good. Okay. Now that we are hydrated, let's see. Swanky says, I visited my local hobby town this past weekend and got my second kit. Nice. Nice. Pete says, just a rhyming title. Oh, I gotcha. Mild I Betcha by Child of Mecha. Heyo. It rhymes. It rhymes. Excellent. All right, let's get to it. Let's bring you back up to speed with what we got done last night. It was more or less a design kind of night. We started working on the feet, right? Because I got all of the pre-molded details filled in, glued, all that good stuff. Excuse me. And so we got the kind of panel line design here done for the feet, and I went back and refined it a little bit, right? So I was looking at, kind of the other features and stuff that we've done here in the past, and these little micro panels here with that little bisecting line down the middle, I really like that, and I kind of leaned into that on the foot here, and we put a couple on the bottom there. And so that's basically what that's gonna look like. And then kind of design the pattern for this little winglet deal here, right? So that's gonna look really quite nice all the way around. And so yeah, we're gonna start working on this, start carving this in today, and yeah, let's get at it. First thing, obviously, we got to do is we got to break this down into the pieces, make it a little bit easier to work with. Now, these winglets here on the side are a bit fragile, or fragile, if you're, 80s kid like me. Come on now. There we go. Fragile. It's a major prize. And if you know what that's from, you should probably have your prostate checked. Just saying. All right. Good deal there. Let's get the... there. All right. This is always a tough one. Come on. Because the foot, this comes off in this really weird kind of slanted direction. And I've never seen Bandai do this before. There we go. And I'm always afraid I'm going to break it. Just a absolute pain in the ass. All right, and there we go. All right, cool. So we got the outer or the inner frame done, out of the way. All right, so let's start on this guy here. Now then. Okay, so a lot of this we can get done with scribing jigs, quite simply. So I'm going to need that. I'm going to need our 45-degree angle scribing jigs, and then obviously, you know, our straight black ones here as well. So let's see. First things first, we're going to carve in. You know what? Let's start off. Start off by carving in this kind of down line here off of that angle point. Let's start with that. Now, to do that, we're going to use some Dymo. Let's get this peeled off and applied. Here we are. Now we want to match this up with the angle of the front of the foot, right? All right, I think that looks good. All right, so one thing that I've kind of decided for that top line, we're actually going to be using the 0.3 millimeter, right? Because I want this to look like a bigger separation, right? So we're not going to go all the way down the line. Okay. Very good. All right. So we got that line set in there. That's looking nice. And then we need to transfer this across the top here. There we go. And we don't need to take it all the way across this, you know, the inner side of this foot, mainly because it's going to be covered up by the top of the armor. All right. And then we need our down line here, our drop, if you will. Alright, and then clean up our corner. Oh man, I'm going to tell you what, scribing into this opaque plastic is so much better than scribing into that clear crap for the armor. So much easier. So much easier. Okay, that looks nice. There we go. All right, so there's our first line. All right, now we can base this everything off of this corner here, this line. So that's perfect. All right, so we're done with the 0.3 millimeter for now. Let's go to our old standard 0.15, and then we're going to need our 1 millimeter scribing jig, and we are going to run this right across here. We're basically just going to run this line right across the bottom of the foot. Okay, got the line set. Yeah. See those little curly cues there? That's what you're looking for. That's perfect. Yeah. So basically what that means, let's go super zoom and I'll show you a little bit better. So that right there, that's basically one very thin layer of plastic that we just scraped off. And like I said, that's if you can get that, yeah, your line's good. Your line's good. So, all right. So now then, we've got that. Now we need our some of our 45s. Whoops, some of our 45s in here. Get these spread out and ready. Okay. So first things first, we need the 1 mil. Where is the 1 millimeter 45? Here we go. There we are. There we are. Perfect. Okay. So we'll save that. And then we've got our 2 millimeter here. Run this down the line. Right to there. Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. Perfect. Now, we need to get our 45 in here, get our drop line. Right about there. Okay. Now just connect everything. That's looking good. All right, very nice. Okay, so now we need to get another drop line in here, right at the end of both of these horizontal lines. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Bill would hate this because it's a 90-degree angle. Is Bill on? I don't even know. I don't think so. Okay. Good, good, good. This is coming out nice. This is coming out super, super nice. All right. So now, as we drop it, now we have to connect all of these points here. Now, before I do that, I need to, man, I am still sweating. And if you guys are not on the East Coast, we are about to go into a pretty good heat wave. It's supposed to be over 100 here, I think, this week. So, and then with like super high humidity as well. So that's fun. That's fun. Anyway, let's get caught up with the chat, yeah? Let's see. Todd says, not bad. How is everyone? Doing pretty good. Good Tuesday. Apex Nerd says, Clippin' Nub's book would be called The Mind of a Doo-Doo Brain. Without a doubt. Leg Lamp. Calvin Branham. Hello, hello, hello. Fragile. It must be Italian. And Buck, what's going on, buddy? Hell yeah. Juno says, every day I watch this stream, I learn something. I have those scribe templates, but never thought to use them in tandem with the 45 like that before. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. You use them all together. And you can do crazy, crazy things. And, you know, they're not just for scribing. Like I showed last night, I use them for layout as well, to lay out, you know, pencil lines and things like that. So, yeah, man, that's kind of the idea. And, you know, the fact that you learn something every single time that you watch the stream, it just, that makes me, number one, that makes me feel awesome. But number two, we're getting the job done. So that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. Some dude in blue, he follows over there on Twitch. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's see. Welcome to the family, by the way. Juno says heat wave starts tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, it's a little warm right here now here in Maryland. It's supposed to get up to I think about 90 today. But then, yeah, the rest of the week, high 90s, triple digits, fucking humidity, all that. Mind you, I don't mind heat. It's the humidity that it just drains every ounce of your energy. You walk out and it's like walking into a bowl of soup. It's just like, ugh. It's terrible. It's terrible. If I could live in like someplace, like Arizona, California, someplace like that where it's dry, shit, I'd be good to go. I wouldn't mind the heat, honestly. Like I was out, what was it, in 2019, I was out in Phoenix for Sabotin Con. It was, what was it, like September, August, something like that. So, I mean, dog days of summer. I mean, easily triple digits. But, I go outside and I'm like, I'm totally comfortable, 100% comfortable here. Like, this is nothing. Like, it's a completely different feeling going from a dry heat like that in the desert to just terrible humidity. It is torture. Anyway, Swanky says, I'm in Cali, come over. Dude, I got a bunch of friends over there, dude. Especially right there, kind of around where you are, more or less in Orange County and stuff like that. I know we talked about the SCGMC, the Southern California Gundam modeling competition. That's put on by my friends, those Gundam guys. So, yeah, I've known those guys for 20 plus years, and just all of them, just such good people. Such good people. Let's see. Juno says, I'm not kidding. I'm legitimately learn something new every time I watch. See, that's cool as shit, man. Years ago, I watched you plug those scribe jigs and instantly bought them. And now, years later, I'm learning new ways to use them. See? That's cool as shit, buddy. That's cool as shit. Juno, thank you, man. That makes me feel really good, dude. Legit. That does make me feel really, really good. We talked about it on last night's stream a little bit, right? Because Brandon, his daughter is playing like Little League softball. And she evidently got a double in one of her latest games, and he posted a video on it. We looked at it on Instagram, and what he said, evidently she was struggling a lot. Like, she had only had 3 hits like all season up to that point. And then evidently she talked to like one of the batting instructors from someplace for like 10 minutes. And just little tweaks, and she's basically hitting every single ball that gets thrown her way at this point. So we talked about the importance of having a good coach, a good mentor, a good, teacher, something like that. And, from what Juno said, man, if you're learning, then I'm doing my job. Plain and simple. I'm doing my job. So, man, thank you. It really does make me feel good, Juno. Like 100%. So, Swanky says 89 is the highest for this week. Yeah. He says, yes, still have that on my mind, but it's on my mom's birthday. Oh, fuck, dude. That's terrible. That's like a really shitty coincidence, right? I'll be like, Ma, let's celebrate your birthday on Friday. Happy early birthday, Ma. I'd probably be like that, but that's just me. Juno throwing up the gang signs. Let's go. Let's fucking go. All right, let's get back to this, yeah? Because we're doing good work here. We're doing good work. All right. So we've got these little micro panels set in. That's looking really crisp and clean. I like that so far. We need to do our higher angles here. Now, what was that 3.5? Yeah, it was. It was 3.5 mil up. All right, so now what we're gonna do, God, what the shit? Butterfingers over here, man. All right, so what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna pull out the 60 degree scribing jigs for this one. Simply because, there's the 2, is 2 mil gonna be good enough? Let me see. Now let's go with where's the 1 mil? Let me find that in here. Because I want a little bit of a steeper angle with these drop lines here. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. That's the one we want. All right, put the rest of these away. Get in your home. There you go. All right, cool. So now, yeah, that's the 45. Let's see, where did the 3.5 go? Is this yeah, this is the 3.5. All right, so what I want to do is I want to really quickly just make a marking line here with the back of my hobby knife, just very lightly. Light enough to where, you know, it'll sand out after this. But I want to see exactly where my line needs to stop for this, right? All right, and right there on the corner. Good, good, good. Okay, very nice. And actually, we're going to need the other 1 millimeter because we're making another drop line in the opposite direction. So, just so happens to be right on top. Perfect. That is serendipitous, as they say. All right. So, let's get this on the corresponding side and do the same exact thing on this corner here. Okay, very, very nice. All right, that is perfectly connected there. Now let's go back to the front drop line here. Let's get that set in just a little bit better. There we go. That's better. That's what we're talking about. All right. Good, good, good. Corner cleaned up here. Very nice. Get that out of the way there. All right, so now we need our 3.5 mil straight jig to connect these guys. Very good. Now, let's get that set in here. Very nice, very nice. All right, so one last line up there. I believe that was 5.5 millimeter. And I gotta get a wrangle on all these damn scribing jigs. I got them all over the damn place here. And I'm gonna end up losing some of them, and I'm gonna have to bug Craig to send me replacements if that happens. All right, so 5.5 is too much. So was it just 5? Nope, that's the 6. Here's the 5. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, that's perfect. Sweet. All right. And this right off that corner. Nice and neat. There we go. Yeah, just this carves like butter, as you know, in comparison to it carves like butter in comparison to the brittle armor on this damn model. I miss this so much. I can't wait to be done with this fucking thing. Man, that's a clean design right there, kiddos. That's super, super clean. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. Now, the important thing, whenever you do a scribing job that it, you know, ends at a surface, man, just take the time, wrap the line around. It's just a best practice. Just wrap the line around. Nothing wrong with it. Simple stuff. Will anyone see it? No. But it's attention to detail. That is massively important. Is attention to detail. That. Excellent. All right, those are wrapped around. Now this top one, obviously, that is going to be covered completely in 100% by these little winglets, so I'm not going to do that. Now, what I will need to do is wrap this 0.3 millimeter around the bottom. So we're going back to 0.3. Just real quick to do that, and bring that straight across. There we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okie dokie. So now, one last thing here is we need to get this little micro panel bisected here. Now we want to find the middle of this. This is... Call that... we'll call that 13-ish. Yeah, we'll call that 13. So damn, my mark was actually dead center already. Nice. Nice. Alright, so let's just put this bisecting line right in here. And for that, we're still using the 0.3. Let's get the debris out of here because we don't want this chisel to ramp up and fuck up our perfectly good scribing job here. All right, very, very nice. I quite like the look of this. All right, so all right, let's get this sanded so you guys can see it a little bit better, and then we'll get caught up in the chat here as well because I know we need to do that here. All right, so let's get this. Actually, let's do a little coarse. There we go. Much better. Okay, so you can see a couple different things going on here. This light section here is actually the molded in detail that I covered up, but that actually, all right, there is a little bit there that I need to fill back in, but for the most part, that's filled in completely. But there you can kind of see the end result of our, scribing pattern. I think that looks really good. Very simple, very elegant looking. That's, yeah, that hits. That hits really nicely there. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, cool deal. So with that being said, now let's turn our attention over to the heel. Now this is going to be a much simpler, scribing job here. So we got a little bit of detail on the back, but these sides are, pretty simplistic overall. So not too bad, not too bad. All right. Now, what we're going to do first. I'm going to keep this detail here, but that's wider than the 0.3. That looks to be about a 0.5. So I want to reinforce that, sharpen that a little bit. Actually, you know what? We were going to catch up on the chat here real quick. Let's do that, and then we'll jump into that here. Let's see. Juno says, I just caught that you put the scribe into the line you already cut and then shifted the jig over to line it up perfectly. Damn it, that's smart. Yes. So what Juno's talking about, right, is when you are connecting perpendiculars or corners or whatever like that. Let me show you kind of what I do, right? So it was probably pretty evident with this line here, right? No, it probably wasn't. Oh, it was with these drops. So basically what I did was I scribed in this this micro panel here first, and then this vertical drop line right here, right? And then, so we had this just square 90-degree box, right? So basically what I did to make the diagonal drop line right there, I put the tip of my chisel right into the corner, and then, of course, dropped the scribing jig. Put the tip of my chisel right in the corner, and then move the scribing jig right up to the right up to the chisel itself, and that gets me a perfectly aligned connection for those lines. It's just kind of something that I've always done, and yeah, it's just an easy way to achieve that perfect connection, right? Let's see. Todd says it's supposed to be 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh no, he says Celsius. So 40 degrees Celsius tomorrow here where I live. Thank God for air conditioner. For real, right? Let's see. Andrew, what's going on, Andrew? He says, I think you mean Celsius. 40 degrees Fahrenheit is wintertime temps. Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at that right now, but I'll be honest with you, especially with this coming week. He says, yeah, sorry, meant Celsius. Let's see. Gio says, I have always had issues cleaning the panel lines after scribing. I do a sonic clean after scribing, then I wait to dry, and that dust still remains. I used a toothbrush. So, Gio, this is what I do, right? So, as you saw, all of those lines are filled with dust, right? Now, I don't wash this right away. I just still take a toothbrush and just right along in the direction of the panel lines, right? That's the main thing, because you want those bristles to get into those panel lines. And sometimes you have to, do like little circular motions and just take it in different directions and all that stuff here. But what I find is that the toothbrush itself will also kind of act as kind of like a polisher almost, right? Because this surface now is completely smooth. There's no chaff, there's no raised edges, nothing. And as you can see, that got pretty much all the dust out. Now there may be some straggler. Maybe some stragglers in here now, like especially in the corners. So you may have to go back and just kind of, run your chisel through there. Light pressure, nothing crazy. Just to clean out, any debris, dust, anything like that. Like, for instance, right here in this corner, there's still some stubborn dust right there. Yeah, and that's just debris from scribing. So that didn't help either. That just clogs up the lines and everything, right? But yeah, once you run your chisel back through there, you'll be able to get everything out. But yeah, make sure you are brushing in the direction of your panel lines. That's very, very important. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, 99% of the dust is out of there at that point. So, because if you were to leave that dust in there and then put it into a sonic bath, that water or whatever liquid that you use for your sonic bath, that's basically going to turn that dust into almost a cement-like mixture, because it's just going to form like a nasty paste in there. So it's always better to clean the dust out before you use your ultrasonic cleaner than to, vice versa at that point. So let's see. Andrew says, I know I'll likely catch shit since I'm American, but it's 32 degrees C out right now with a feel like 40 C or 90 and 104 freedom units. Yeah, Fahrenheit's fucking weird, man. Imperial is fucking weird. Like, I would so much rather just use metric and Celsius. Like, come on. But No, we got to be special. I don't know. He says it's hard to get that dust out. Yeah. Like I said, Gio, make sure that you're brushing in the direction of the panel lines themselves. That's very, very important. And just, try to use like a pretty soft toothbrush. This is just one that I got from the dentist years ago, and I have a bunch of them, so. All right, so with that being said, let's turn our attention now to the heel of the unit here. Now, like I said, I think that pre-molded detail is probably about 1/2 mil. So I want to reinforce that because we are going to be keeping this this detail here. And yeah, that's 1/2 millimeter. Cool. All right, excellent then. So what we'll do, just really quick reinforce and sharpen this with our chisel. Jolly good. And then of course we do want to wrap this around just ever so slightly though. Very good. Very freaking good. Very good. I just hate having a notch that just ends at a corner of a panel or something like that. It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So by simply wrapping it around and terminating it on the bottom of the heel, we, achieve logic at that point, right? Or at least the best case scenario for logic. I mean, mechs are not a logical design anyway. So what are we trying to do here? All right, 0.15 millimeter. We're gonna go back and do our baseline lines here. We need our 1 millimeter for that. I'm off camera. Sorry about that, kiddos. There we go. All right, excellent. right, good deal there. Now we just need to wrap this around the piece. Okay, good. Very nice. And last side here, we'll just wrap this around. All right, very good. Now we've got our baseline wrapped all the way around the bottom, up around the side, and then around the back there. So that's looking really nice and good. That's perfect. All right, so now we can get into the actual design of this thing. So let's see, what were these measurements? This was 3.5. Yes, it was. All right, so again, 3.5. We're just going to make a light pass with the back of our hobby knife here, just so we know where kind of the line of determination is for that side. Now, I think I did the same thing over on the back here. I think that was a 5. No, it was 5.5. All right. Ah, that's why. Okay, because it ran up to that corner. All right, cool. So there we are. All right. Very good. All right, and then what is that? That's 4.5. We need the 3.5 in here to connect everything up. There it is. All right, perfect. And again, wrap your lines around the edges to make it look like it's actually separated. Good. All right, excellent. So we've got our base pattern here. Now we need to carve in our little micro panel. And what was that, 2 mil up? Yes, it was. All right, perfect. So again, just so that we know where our top edge line is going to be, we're going to just scratch in a line so that we have a determination of, you know, how far to go up. All right, so we need our 1 mil 45s. Yeah, 45. There's one of the 1 mil, and here's the other one. Perfect. All right, so let's get this done up here. Okay, that's set. And we'll use the other scribing jig here, and we'll do the other side. Okay. All right, now we need our top edge. So we'll grab our 2 mil again. Now that we have our diagonal drops. All right. Very good. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Excellent. Good. Very, very good. Okay, so now we need to measure how long this little micro panel is and find the center. We're looking at 3.5. Yeah, that's 7 mil wide, so we're looking at 3.5 there. All right, so going back to 0.3 for this. Good. All right. Get that debris out of there. Yeah. Very good. Very, very good. All right. Excellent. All right. real quick, let's do a time check. What time is it? 1:19. Okay, not bad, not bad. Let's get a let's get caught up with the chat. Yeah. Let's see. Pete says, what do you do for air slash dust extraction system in your work area, both in regards to paint fumes, but also all those microplastic particles when sanding? Sorry to always be asking these health and safety questions, but apparently that's my niche, right? So that's a great question, Pete. So obviously for, when I paint, I have custom made my own spray booth with 3 bathroom exhaust fans, no filter. Airflow is more important to me, and that does an amazing job of getting everything extracted out. Obviously, I wear a respirator. When I'm painting, priming, all that good stuff, clear coats, everything. So covered there. But for dust, or for like sanding dust and everything, I will not do a ton of sanding where it will create a massive amount of dust. If I have to, if I'm going to be sanding surfaces or something like that, I will normally wet sand. It just offers such a much better, cleaner surface and everything. And then obviously one of the fringe benefits of that is to, entrap all of that dust into, the water and everything. But, yes, there's going to be mess all over my desk, little, microplastics and everything. But honestly, I mean, I'm so full of microplastic at this point, it's not even funny. So, but I get it. I get it. Let's see. Andrew says I need to remember to use the tools I have to make it so the pins of my kits can be easily added or removed when I paint. Andrew, that's a really good statement. Let's go to camera 2 and I'll kind of show you real quick again what I do. So number 1, pin vise. This is your friend. And then number 2, a conical burr, right? So, well, this is way too big. That's not a great example. I don't have a great example to show you. All right. Dig in the crates. Let's dig in the crate. Oh, wait a minute. Is that... Nope, that's not a good example. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Do I just have a piece that I can actually use? Oh my god, fuck a duck. Kidding me right now? Alright, maybe this. Maybe this will help. I don't know. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, that'll serve. That will serve. Alright, put that away. Alright. So I just got this scrap part out of the bin, and let's get this separated here, and I'll kind of show you, take you through my process of that, right? Because I feel that's important, Andrew. I think, being able to separate parts for painting, customizing, everything that we do here is massively important. So obviously you have your pins, you have your pin holes in all these parts, right? Now what I do with this conical bit is I will insert that into the pinhole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. That kind of reams out that the top end of that peg hole, and so there's a little less hold there, right? And then obviously you can just easily and safely take that off now, just by hand. You don't need a part separator or anything like that. Now obviously these peg holes come in many different sizes, hence this was a very bad example. Those peg holes are massive, right? And they're shallow too, so there's no way to get use this conical bit in there. So you do have to have other bits to work with, right? So for something that large, we can use a little spherical bit here, and just go in there and just kind of clean that out, right? Just bang, and now that's opened up just a little bit, to allow that part to still hold, but not as much to where you could be accidentally breaking apart, trying to disassemble it. So whenever I snap a kit, I always go through that process of expanding those peg holes and everything like that. It's just a good practice in my opinion, and it makes the breakdown and assembly so much easier. Now when you go to final glue up and everything, obviously you're going to put you're going to glue this thing together, so it's it's not going to matter if it doesn't hold a great deal in the building stage, but obviously when you go to assemble it, it's going to be permanent at that point. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a great statement. Great statement. Juno says, I love the looks of Mecha anything, but I will always argue the idea of building a bipedal robot of that size. Humans walking upright on two legs is actually a bad design. Yeah. Yeah, it's not logical, right? If it was, we would be working on Gundam version logics, like I posted, a week or two ago. So, yeah. Edwin, Mr. RSA, he says, hello, everyone. Edwin, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Thank you for tuning in. All right, let's get back on this and continue on. Excuse me. Now, what I want to do is put in some notches along this top line here, just to kind of decorate that up a little bit, right? So first things first. Let's see, probably about 2 mil in, right about there. And these are just going to be little itty bitty perpendicular notches. Right there. Oh, let's go back to super zoom. All right. And then same thing here, about 2 mil from the corner. About 2, well, actually about a little more than that, maybe about 3 mil from the end here, because we're getting up to a kind of sharp corner. Now your measurements for these notches don't have to be perfect. They just need to be consistent. Let's measure and see how close I was. About 1.5 there. About 2 mil. Good. This should be about 3. Yeah, about 3. Perfect. All right, excellent. So I like it. That looks good. Now we're going to turn our attention to the back side of the heel, the top back side. Excuse me. Now, what we're going to do, we're just going to use one of these, 45-degree. Actually, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use something a little bit daintier. Yeah, just like this. So we're just using the edge here of the scribing jig. That's all we want, because we want to put our line right at kind of the edge here of this bevel, right? And we need to swap out because this is the 0.3. We need the 1.5. All right, so back to 0.15, right? Excuse me. All right. And we're going to just drape this down over the edge here, like this. And I want my panel line right up close to the bevel. Very, very close. Okay, that's set. All right, don't forget to wrap it around. Very good. Okay, now we'll do the same thing to this other side here as well. Let's see if I can hold this. Yeah, it's a little bit trickier. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a wider. This might do a little bit easier here. Motherfucker. Okay, so there we go. All right, I think that'll work right there. Yep, that'll work perfectly. All right, good. All right, excellent. All right, so now we've got that done. So next thing we need to do is put in a few horizontal lines here. Now let's see, how did I measure that? That's not the right one. Did I use 1.5? No. Did I use 2? I think it was about 2 millimeter here. Or did I measure in from the... No, I definitely didn't measure in from this way because it's This is, no. Nah. Yeah, 2 mil. Okay. All right, very good. We got that line set. Now, get it to depth. Get the debris out of there. Very nice. All right, so now we need to find the middle of this, and so we're going to do another bisecting line at the back side of here, right? So, all right. Excuse me. Okie dokie. So, let's see. From line to line, we're looking at 11.5 millimeter. Yeah, 11.5 millimeter. So that's going to be what, 5.5? 5? No. 5 3/4. Yeah, 5 3/4. Okay. Okay, so if I'm using so 5.5 would be good if I'm using 0.5 millimeter. Yeah. So 5.5 from edge to outer edge. Okay. Okay, perfect. Just trying to properly measure this. All right, right there. Okay, perfect. So let's get our 0.5 millimeter again. This will be our bisecting line width. And again, we're gonna drape our scribing jig. Drape our scribing jig over the back side of this piece. And actually, we're gonna go the other opposite direction because that's gonna be 5 into, yeah. Actually, fuck it, I'm gonna use a piece of Dymo. This is the hardest part right here, just holding the damn guide in place. Right there. All right, I think we got it. It's not exactly straight. Let's see if I can use this here. Not a great solution. That's not a great solution. Son of a bitch. Alright, hang on you guys. I'm trying to figure this out. Alright. Let's... Mound of... poster tack. Alright, there we go. That's a little bit better. Better stabilized. Now I can focus a little bit more on holding the jig in place and keeping it square. Yeah, there we go. See what that looks like. Yeah, that's much better. Much, much better. That's actually straight and vertical now. Very good. All right, don't need that anymore. Make sure to wrap this around the part. Attention to detail. There we go. Very nice. All right. Sorry, not on camera. There we go. All right. Excuse me. Okay, so we've got that backside pattern put in here. That's looking pretty good. One last little bit that I want to take care of is putting a couple little smaller perpendicular notches into this thing here. Let's get our 0.15 back in here just to clean these lines out, and then we should be good to go. Very good. Very, very good. All right, perfect. So, again, let's get this sanded so you can kind of see what this looks like here. Very good. Very good. All right. So there's the side of the heel. Looks nice. And then there is the back. Yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. I'm happy with this. You know, we kept it simplistic. I had a bit of a challenge last night. The design mojo just wasn't anywhere I needed it to be last night. So probably a bad night in terms of trying to design panel lines and stuff, but you know, I think we got it. I think we got over the hump, so to speak, right? So let's see, let's get these kind of mocked back up onto the foot here real quick. So obviously we don't have the bottom snapped on, but there you can kind of see the finished product. Yeah, that looks really good. I'm really liking this so far. Yeah, yeah. That's going to look really good because on the full assembled piece, you're going to be able to see that panel line pattern on the back there really well. So yeah, that's going to come across very nicely. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, rock and roll. All right, let's get caught up in the chat real quick. Excuse me. Let's see. Andrew says, thank you for the demonstration, Tim. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Edwin said, slept too much in the afternoon and now I can't sleep after tearing down my 3D printer that was broken yesterday. Oh, man. Pete says, you got it working again? Edwin says, printer's not working right now. I tear the hot end completely and decided to just upgrade it to a 2024 model hot end. There was a leak and that is why I can't do partial teardown. I have no idea what any of that means, but awesome. Excuse me. Some dude in blue over there on Twitch, he asks, are these scribing jigs 3D printed? Looks very helpful than scribing tapes. They are. All of these scribing jigs are 3D printed by our good friend Mr. Colin Craig, and they come in a few different flavors, right? You have your straight ones that are in 0.5 millimeter increments. This just happens to be the 0.4. And then they come in 45 degree angle and then also 60 and 30 degree angle jigs as well. And those are, pretty useful. Like I said, they have different sizes. And then obviously they also have the two mirroring sides, right? So you got your 5 millimeter on for both both angles. So yeah, very helpful. Some dude in blue, let me get you a link for his website, and I'll post that in the chat here. Just give me a second here. Excuse me. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see, where is Colin's link that I posted? There it is. Okie dokie. So, copy that. And there we go. So yeah, so that his store URL is highcraig.storenv.com. Yeah, so you get on there, and yeah, he's in Canada. He prints out everything. friend of the site. Yeah, Colin's a good dude. Colin's a really good dude. Let's see. Todd says, well, I'm off to do a few things. I hope everyone has a good day. Todd, take care, buddy. Thank you. Andrew says, I feel at a bit of a loss right now. He says, it seems like I should be getting ready for PT, but then I look at the clock and realize I still have an hour before I need to get ready. I mean, nothing wrong with that. You still got time. You know, look at it that way. Eric Bennett's with us. What's going on, Eric? He said, yo, I was wondering what y'all were talking about, but I always wanted to know about that scribing tool. These scribing jigs right here, yeah, they're a nice L shape, right? And, excuse me. Funny enough, Colin has been a long time viewer of the stream, even back before, you know, in the good old days and everything. And what I would do is create my own scribing jigs. And, you know, I don't know if I was the first to do this or not, but, you know, I haven't never seen anybody else do this type of thing. I would literally scratch build mine. Like, here's a 4mm, you know, that I scratch built from just styrene sheet that was pre-cut, right? Yeah, so basically here you can kind of see, we line both of these up together. There we go. That's damn near perfect 4mm for, you know, both of those there. So his is probably way more accurate than mine, if I'm being honest. This is more like 5 from what it looks like, but still. And you can make them, you can make your own scribing jigs in a lot of different sizes. I mean, this one's much bigger, you know, comparatively to, you know, the ones that you can get from Colin. And then obviously you can make, you know, scribing jigs that can be used to mirror a pattern. So there's a pattern that I cut in, right? And what I would do, and this is just an example, you know, say if this was, I think this was a design that I did for the bicep of the airdrop Jesta. And what I would do is I would put it in here, scribe my pattern on that side, bring it over to this side, scribe in the mirror pattern on the other side, right? So you can make those scribing jigs, you know, for, you know, different custom shapes and things like that. You can do a lot of, you know, interesting things with, you know, jigs and shapes and all templates and all that. So, yeah. Excuse me. Let's see. Red Baron. Hello, new to the channel. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we are building this Hyaku Shiki. So, yeah, welcome. Hang out, ask questions if you got them. We only got 7 more minutes of this particular stream, but we'll be back on tomorrow night. Yeah, welcome. Let's see, Pete's got a question.
We have a question.
Pete wants to know what size chisels would be in your recommended first set. Good fucking question, Petey. Good question, buddy. Let's go camera 2. All right, so this is going to be dependent on what scale model you build primarily, right? Now, let me see, here it is. Okay, so if you build high grades, real grades primarily, smaller scale, 144 and under, right? I would start with a 0.10 for your main panel lines, right? Excuse me. This is going to be your general purpose, you know, most of the main panel lines, this would be it for, you know, sizes 144 and smaller. Now for, you know, say like 1/100 and bigger, I would step that up just a little bit to a 0.15. At the scale that we're working at, that 0.05 millimeters actually does make a difference, and you will see that. So just, be aware of that, right? So 0.1 if you're working in 144 or under, 0.15 if you're working in 1/100th or larger. Now, aside from that, I would say get maybe 2 other chisels. So you start with your main line chisel, and then what I would do for like notches and differing thicknesses, a 0.3. So double that, right? And after that, then again, you would maybe want something just slightly a little bit larger. So I usually tend to go, I tend to double. Hey, Red Baron. Hey, new subscriber. Welcome again to the family, officially, right? So, but anyway, so basically what I do, I always build 1/100 and bigger. So, as you can see right here, these are going to be the main chisels that I use 95% of the time. And as you can see, I double them as I go. So 0.15, 0.3, 0.6, right? It's just a real good look, in my opinion, in terms of the differing sizes and all that. Now, those are the 3 that I would start off with. And again, if you're on 144, swap out the 0.15 for a 0.1. This would be your 144 starter set. But again, I do 1/100, so this would be 1/100 master grade starting set, right? So, in addition to that, you can pick up some other ones, right? The other ones that I would recommend outside of your initial 3, right? These are going to be your starter sets. The next ones that I'm going to explain are going to be your nice to haves. A nice 1 millimeter. This works really good for, big fat notches or something like that. A little bit of plastic sculpting, things of that nature. Really, really good. Now, if you're building 1/100, I like to use a 0.20 for what are called outline scribes. So going around a feature, right? So an example of that is like, this plate that we put on here. I've scribed around that in a 0.2. And what that's going to do is it's going to catch just a little bit more of that panel lining fluid and leave a nice shadow around that part. But again, for your main panel lines, these ones like right here, that's a 0.15 all day long. But for outlining and everything, 0.2 is a really good thickness. Now, obviously, you can still do it with a 0.15, and I've done that plenty of times before. It's not a massive difference, but if you have the funds to get, your nice to have, get a 0.2. Now, in addition to that, just for ease of use, a 0.5 millimeter. Yes, I know we got the 0.6 in our starter set, but a 0.5 millimeter, as you've seen, sometimes Bandai likes to use, 0.5 for these kind of bigger notches, and that's what this one was here at the corner of the heel and everything. So a 0.5 is really, really good to have. And then after that, I would probably say a 1.5, right? And then also too, if you're really getting into, plastic, like sculpting, removing material, lowering surfaces, things like that, a nice big fatty, 3 millimeter chisel. So basically this would be kind of my complete set here. I think Yeah, I mean, the other ones that I have in here, I do have, excuse me, I do have a .7. I don't use it all that much, but it's nice. I just find myself gravitating toward this .6 for, you know, my normal kind of thicker notches and things like that. So, yeah, that's basically, you know, kind of my my arsenal of chisels there. Yeah, that's what I would suggest usually. So, yeah, good question, Petey. Good question, buddy. Brian says, I forgot today's stream was on right now. Hello, everyone. Well, tisk, Brian. You're late, bud. we're about to punch the clock here. Eric says, LOL, I need those. The chisels or the scribing jigs? The scribing jigs you can get from our good friend Hi Craig. I posted the link actually just a few minutes ago. So if you scroll up, Eric, you'll see the link to that. If you're, you know, like I said, if you're looking for like the scribing jigs and stuff like that, you know, these guys, those. Just, hey. Let's see, Red Baron, he says, I got a question.
We have a question.
Cool. So he says, for anyone that's a veteran of Gunpla, should I get the Gundam Verka, the GTO, or the 3.0 for a master grade RX-78-2? Again, very good question. The Verka, the thing you have to think about is that was the very, very first Verka. So it was basically a repurposed GM Type C, which again is an older master grade. Not the greatest master grade in the world. Even when it came out, it wasn't great. But again, it's the GMC, so you take what you can get. If it was me, if I wanted to get a master grade RX-78-2, I would go for the Origin. The Origin version, Gundam Origin version of the Grandpa Gundam is superb. I love the proportions. I love the design of the head. I love just everything about it. They've incorporated logic and some sense of reality to that design. And it, for me, it's just like, mwah, chef's kiss. The feature that I really like are like kind of the shoulder cannon, you know, the little guns that are on the shoulder and everything. The design of the forearm, the feet are beautiful. The head design is very, very nice. They've kind of brought the visor down just a little bit to make it look a little more menacing. It's just, yeah. In my opinion, the Gundam Origin version of the RX-78 is definitive. I love it. So that's the one I would choose. Yeah, that's the one I would choose. So very good question. Good question. All right, kiddos. It's 2:03. I've got Insignia redrawing I got to do because I want to get this damn store open some point this week. I think we're shooting for Friday for the store. If you haven't signed up, the StreamerBot just posted the link again to the new shop that should be open up. Like I said, I'm looking to Friday for that. But go sign up for notifications on that. When it's open, you will get a nice discount code, you know, for your first purchase. We're gonna have a ton of different designs on there. Working on the Titans Test Team insignias right now as we speak. Going really, really good. This fiber insignia is a pain in my ass though. But all 16, yes, 16 Titans Test Team insignias will be up in the shop as soon as it launches. So we'll have hats, or shirts, hoodies, hats for some of them, not all of them. Stickers, things like that. Yeah, really, really good. Kelvin questions, are my questions wrong? Pourquoi? Por qué? Did I miss something, Kelvin? Let me see. Let me go back. Did we miss a question for Kelvin? No. See above. Yeah, see, I'm scrolling back up here. Hang on. Let's see. Kelvin, I see your original hello comment. After that, I don't see any comments from you. Above Red Baron. I don't see it, Kelvin. I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, because I've got right above Red Baron's, I've got Eric, Red Baron, and then you asking, are my questions wrong? And then right above Red Baron's comment, hello to the channel, I just have Andrew RF Aurora above that. So, shit, yeah, I'm sorry. Retype it for me, because for some strange reason, it doesn't look like it came through. Yeah. I don't see it. Yeah, Andrew says, sorry, Kelvin, I don't see anything from you either. Okay. Yeah, weird. Sasquatch Gumpla is over there on Twitch, checking in. They say hello. Howdy. Good to see you. But yeah, Kelvin, retype your question, dude. I'm sorry about that. For some reason, it didn't come through. Yeah, Red Baron says neither did I. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. YouTube must have ate Kelvin's question. Shit. Sorry about that, dude. All right, we'll give Kelvin a few seconds here to type out his question, because yeah, it looks like YouTube ate it. I don't know what the fuck happened there. RF Aurora says, I wonder if he used a banned word. Maybe. Yeah, I'm looking at the live chat. So not the quote-unquote top chat, to where it makes all, everything visible. And yeah, I just don't see anything from Kelvin outside of, his, first comment that said hello. Huh. Yeah, Kelvin, I don't know, buddy. Yeah, retype it, dude. Retype it. And let's get your question answered. Shit. That makes me feel bad now. All right. So we'll give Kelvin a few seconds here to get caught up. But like I was saying before, the store goes up. I'm shooting for Friday. We're going to have all 16 of the Titan Test Team logo or insignia in there. I had no idea that they had 16 insignia that were canon. 16. But yeah, we're going to have all 16 in there. Shirts, hoodies, all that good stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Red Baron says there's a banned word list that doesn't allow the comments to pass through. Yeah. YouTube's a little strict on that side of things. Yeah. And then channel by channel, you can set up, banned words and all that. Okay, so Kelvin says, do follow Tosashin 1028. I'm thinking you're talking about on Twitter. Let's take a looky look and let's see what we can find here. Let's see. Tosashin, okay. Here we go. Ooh, I don't follow him. Now, is he an artist or a modeler? Oh, I've seen his work before. Yeah. Okay, I'll show you guys here in a second. Let me pull up his photo and everything. Yeah, okay. I've seen this guy's work come across the feed. A lot of the Japanese modelers that I follow have reposted his artwork and everything. It's not necessarily what I would call my style, but it's really damn cool. What is this? Oh, Andrew. Okay, I'll get to that in a second, Andrew. But yeah, he's yeah. So there's what, RX-78, his version. Pretty cool. Nice. Is that a Zoc? Holy shit. That's wild. What else we got here? A Big Zam? Holy crap. What is that? Oh, what is that called? That's from Gundam Igloo. It's the Zaku space thing. I forget what the name is. Somebody will remind me. Holy crap. Psycho Zaku. That's a lot of detail. That's a Droxy. Thank you, Andrew. Droxy. Holy shit! There's a Zaku for you. Yeah, big chunky details and everything. I totally respect it. And it's not my style, but I still like it. Yeah, Kelvin says great for build ideas for color concepts, right? That's a cool as shit color concept right there. Kind of that darker purple with lighter kind of lavender and, shades of gray. That's a good color combo. That's a real good color combo. Hell yeah. Your Zaku cannon? Shit, look how chunky that boy is. Hell yeah. Jesus Christ. Jagan. I would say maybe a little over detailed, but I mean, that's his style. You know what I mean? That's his style. Beautiful piece. Don't get me wrong. Beautiful piece. So, yeah. Ooh, okay. Here's a new Gundam. That's chunky. That is chunky. Look at that guy. Chunky. Yeah, I don't know if it would be much of a fight between this version of the new and the Sazabi. I'll be honest with you. I think it would be a very quick battle. Very quick battle. Anyway, let's see here. Ooh, hey, look, Sasquatch Gunpla started following. I didn't get a notification. What's up with that? That's fucked up. Anyway, Sasquatch, thank you, buddy. Welcome to the family. Kelvin says, great for build ideas and color concept. Hell yeah. Red Baron says, I'm kind of sad that YouTube hid your stream and channel from me until now. Love the stream already. Nice. Well, like I said, kind of earlier, when our friend Juno was commenting, he said, he always learns something on every stream, and that really makes me feel really good because, that's kind of the goal, I want to pass along the skill set that I've built up over, 25 plus years, and, kind of make the future modelers better. So, yeah, come on back, everybody. Red Baron, Sasquatch, all of yous, come on back, hang out with us, ask questions, all that good stuff, because that's what we're here for. That's definitely what we're here for. Sasquatch says, I've always thought their art style was very unique. Oh, hell yeah. Red Baron says, oh, hey, Big Zam, right? There's a Drossi. Yep. Perfect. Thank you, boys. Peak art right there. Yeah, very talented. Very talented. So, all right, kids. That's where we're going to punch the clock for today. But we'll be back tomorrow night. Come on back and hang out with us tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to jump back into the foot, start to work on the top side of the foot, and get that scribed in and just move this thing along, get it going. Yeah. So, all right, kids. With that being said, have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. Be safe out there. Go build something cool, and stay tuned for the end credits. Don't forget to sign up for the store. You will get a big discount code for your first purchase. So go sign up for that. The link is in both Twitter and YouTube chats multiple times. So go hit that up. Sign up for that. And like I said, I'm thinking Friday. Right now we've got about 70-ish designs in there. So yeah, you will have a plethora to choose from. So, with that being said, you guys, I will see you on Wednesday. Stay tuned for the end credits. See you guys.